for another video. I'm Jess and I'm one of the creative designers here at Sizzix. Today I have some birthdays coming up in the next couple of months, my sister and one of my cousins, and I thought I need to personalise some gift wrap, and all I had in the house was plain brown craft paper. So since I am a crafty person, a creative designer here at Sizzix, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna completely customise it, change it up with some stenciling, some effects and some dies, and we're gonna create amazing custom craft wrapping paper that you guys can achieve at home for any birthday, any occasion that's coming up. So let's jump in. Okay, so I've literally just swiped off some of my craft paper using our Surfacez craft tool set. It's really handy for doing those big sheets of wrapping paper and cutting them down. So I've done that roughly to the size of my gift. And then I'm gonna add some cute little fluffy clouds on there, which are super easy to achieve, guys. If you're not into effects or painting, this is really basic level, so anybody can do this. And how I'm gonna achieve it is I've got some of our white creamy matte acrylic paint. I'm gonna place that onto our mixed media matte. And then I've also got, just because I want to make it a little bit pearly, a little bit glittery, because this is for my younger cousin, I thought she'd appreciate that. So I'm using some of our Pearlescent medium just to add a little bit of kind of pearly, glittery goodness. So it's quite a subtle pearl shimmer, and it's going to look really nice with those clouds with that white. So I'm just going to scoop some of that out using our Effectz craft tool set, and I'm going to mix it with the white. It is white already, so you don't need much of your white. You could just use this by itself, but I think just mixing it with that white paint just makes it a little bit more creamy, because it is quite a thick texture, this Pearlescent medium. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that about. So once I'm happy with the consistency, I'm just gonna close this up so it doesn't dry. And then we can take our sponge. So I tend to just use a sea sponge, but you could use any sponge handy to you. You want it so you've got that bit of a texture. That's why I like to use sea sponges, because they've got a bit of texture for creating those cloud effects. And we're literally just gonna dab it in and pick up, probably starting with a little bit, and then you can add more and more and more. And then we're just going to create little fluffy clouds all across our craft paper. So almost like creating a repeat pattern. And don't worry if it's got a little bit of texture, that Pearlescent medium will give you that. And I think that just adds to it. So literally just go over and create multiple fluffy clouds. You can have some that are bigger, some that are smaller, but just filling in the gaps. So I can do quite a big one here, bring that down, and you can go back in and add more. But that is basically the idea. And again, I could use, like, say, the other end of the sponge and just do some of the detail, because that's a little bit finer. So it's completely up to you how you want to achieve this. You know what? I've done white clouds. You could even do pink clouds if you wanted to. You can mix some of our pink paint with the Pearlescent medium and create a pearly pink. Whatever you want to do, whatever your kind of colour scheme is. But I think as long as you're doing this technique with your sponge, you're going to create that fluffy cloud effect. So I think it's going to be nice and recognisable. So you want to do that all over your paper until you have something that looks like this. So I have wrapped my gift in that. So obviously completely cover your paper, wait for it to dry, and then you can wrap your gift up. And you can see how there's a little bit of texture in those clouds. They're a mixture of sizes, and they're all across my gift wrap. How cute is that? Honestly, that was cute as it is. You could add a little bow on there, particularly if it is a new baby gift or something like that. You could add pink, blue, yellow bow, and that would be adorable. But I am going to change it up a little bit more. So I'm quickly going to tidy up, and then we're going to do some die cutting extras on there. Okay, so I've tidied up all of my mixed media stuff and I've got all my die cut pieces out. So I've pre-cut some pieces, I've got my ribbon, and then I've also got the dies because I wanted to show you guys what dies that I'm actually using. So this one is the Fabulous Everyday Shapes. So I'm going to be using the balloon shape from this, but I love this die. There's loads of cool little birthday shapes in there. So if you are having a celebration or you're gifting or anything like that, you want to personalise a gift tag rather than the whole gift wrap, whatever it may be, this is a wonderful die to use. And then I'm also going to include the fabulous birthday numbers because I want to personalise it with my cousin's birthday. She is going to be 12, so of course I've got the birthday numbers in. And what I love about this die as well, you also have the, like, you can put the 12th, the 2nd, whatever it may be, and then you've also got the sentiment birthday in there as well. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm also going to emboss these gorgeous balloons. So I've pre-cut my balloons out. I'm not sure what colour to go for. I might go for the pink. I've got a few extras so I can play around with the colours. But there's also in chapter 2 this gorgeous little mini embossing folder, and this is scattered florals, and it is the perfect size. Let me just show you guys. It is the perfect size for these little balloons. How cute is that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that inside of my embossing folder. If you want a like a deeper emboss, you can spritz your paper with a little bit of water beforehand. That's completely up to you. I'm just going to pop it in as it is. So if you're embossing, you want to go down to your grey plate on your machine, and then we're going to place one clear plate over the top. So even if it is a mini one like this one, it's just the same as your larger folders as well. We're just going to place that and grab this out. Excuse my nails. There we go. We got it. How cute is that? So we've got a little embossed balloon. Now you could even then go even extra and you could add luster wax to that if you want to pick up the detail. I just want it as a subtle background, so I'm quite happy with as it is for now. So I'm going to have that just here. I was considering a different one, but I'll play around with it. And I've also pre-cut my numbers out. So I've got 12 on here. So we can pop 12th, and I think I might pop birthday down there. And then underneath that, I'm thinking of some ribbon. So actually, I'll just move that out of the way. So you can place your ribbon around and then we can secure it at the bottom with some hot glue. I could even do 2 bits of ribbon, as James behind the camera suggested. He was like, I was like just adding between both ribbons. He was like, why don't you pick both? So maybe I'll include both. I like the gold and the pink together. So that is the kind of thing that I'm thinking of going for. Now you could do 2 balloons, you could have the different numbers on each balloon or something like that. You could personalise it and write their name above the birthday or something like that. But I think I'm quite happy with that. So I think I'm going to stick everything down and see how it comes out when it's all finished. Okay, so I've stuck everything down and I'm pretty happy with all of the placement. I did realise actually when I was putting everything down that I saved myself some time and I placed some of our Sizzix adhesive sheet on the back of the gold cardstock before I cut out the numbers and the birthday sentiment. So it meant that I didn't have to use any glue on the back of there, which saved me a lot of time and a lot of mess. And the only thing I then did was hot glue the balloon down and then the ribbons at the back. But I think that looks really cute. It's really easy to achieve, really personalised. You can obviously do it, personalise it with the birthday date or a name or anything like that, and you can add some fun with the clouds. But I think my younger cousin will be very happy with her gift, and I think she'll feel very, very special because it is completely personalised to her and what she loves. It's very, very pink and girly, but you can completely change that up depending on who you are gifting it for. So that one is all complete. So I've got one gift down and I've got another one to do for my sister. So I'm going to show you another stenciling technique on my other gift. Okay, so I've just sliced off my piece of paper for my next gift. So again, using that same craft paper roll, I'm going to place that down there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a stencil. So I've got some of our stencil film. I've just cut it down to the size of my plate for my big shot. But if you're using a bigger machine, you could use the whole thing. But the die that I'm using is actually the right size. So the die that I'm actually going to use to create the stencil is the Hello Love die. Again in chapter 2, and it has some really cute elements to it, and the main element is this kind of heart wreath effect. So I'm going to use that for almost the center of my gift wrap, and it's also going to kind of include a bit of the tag element because you also have that heart in the center, and then we can personalize that however we want to. So I'm just going to roll this through my machine. So I'm going to die cut it out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the back of the stencil film just with some repositionable spray mount. So just on the back of the stencil film, you can do that in a ventilated area, and then I'm going to stick it onto my craft paper, and because it's repositionable spray mount, it means that I can peel it off once I'm done. So I'm just going to do that, and then we can get to stenciling. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, once you've got it all aligned, I'm just going to hold down the other end of my craft paper with my clear cutting plate, and you just want to give it a firm press. It is a little bit delicate, so the center section is just attached by the top, so you just need to be a bit delicate with it when you are creating the stencil and sticking it down, but I'm pretty happy with that. You can still see the shape. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of creamy acrylic paints. So I'm using the hibiscus colour and I think this one is primrose, yes. But you can use, again, whichever kind of colours you want to use. And I could bring in my mixed medium matte, but since I've already got white on there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it on the stencil film because I'm actually not going to use much at all. There we go. And then I'm just going to use a sponge to just dab the colour in. So where is my sponge? There we go. So again, I could use the C sponge if I wanted to, but you could also use your multi-tool with the blending head attachment as well. So literally we can just pick that up. You don't want much on your sponge. And we're just going to dab through that stencil. Now you want to dab, it's a dabbing motion that you want because you don't want to push it because then it might get underneath your stencil. So this way you're just kind of pressing it over the top, and then you can start to blend in your lighter colour. So I can start to blend that in around here and go back in with my red. So we're going to create a gradient effect from our darker shade to our lighter shade at the bottom. And once you're happy with that, I do suggest leaving it to dry, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to peel it off. There we go, you have your heart wreath all done. I think there's a couple of bits that I just need to pull out with some tweezers, but it all comes off really easily, and you can see it hasn't affected the craft paper at all. So once that is dry, ideally you will have left yours to dry before you peel it off, then you will have something that looks like that. So I've already wrapped my gift up, as you can see, so that is going to be the center element. So bear in mind, when you are placing your stencil onto your gift wrap, you want it to be kind of in the center of your gift. So you can like kind of wrap your gift up really roughly to see how the craft paper sits and where you want that lovely heart wreath to be. So we've got that there. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to add some personalisation to the centre and around it, okay? So I've got some bits all cut out, and I've got some of that ribbon from before. I think I'm happy with everything. So as you can see, I've just popped on the ribbon in the same way that I did the ribbon with the balloon gift wrap. I've also, I'll just turn this around, there we go. I've also added some floral elements. So that is again, all with that same Hello Love die set. So they also come with the floral elements, and that heart element also comes with that die set. So I just attached that onto the ribbon. And then I've got the Fabulous Sister sentiment cut out from the Fabulous Family Names die set. So that is whoever you are gifting for, we've got you covered in that set. So obviously I am giving this gift to my sister. So I've got Fabulous Sister on there. And how cute is that? Again, really simple, but really effective and really personalised. And you can completely change the colours up depending on who you are gifting it for. And obviously you can change the name as well. So there we have two lovely personalised gifts, all using that plain brown craft paper gift wrap that I'm sure all of you have got in your house somewhere, or you can get your hands on it super cheap. Don't go out and spend a fortune on gift wrap or wrapping paper. Just grab what you've got at home, utilise these dies, utilise some of the ribbon and the piece of cardstock that you've already got in your collection, and get personalising for your next gift that you're going to give. And I think it'll be very much appreciated. So if you recreate any of these gift wraps or you make your own, it's completely up to you. If you've got any cool new ideas, then please share pictures and inspiration with us across all of our social channels. We love to see it. Make sure to use that hashtag #MySizzixStory so we can see it and we can share it, and we love seeing what you guys create and get up to. So I think that is everything from me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, stay safe and keep crafting. Thanks, bye.